do, 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 do. Huh, look at that. Excellent connection. The big question is the connection is good, but what's the latency? So this in a bit. All right, everybody. Let me see here. First of all, before we start, every time we do these types of live streams, there is really a couple different issues. One is the connection, and the second thing is the volume. And that's the big question I have to ask for everybody right now. First of all, are we glitchy? Because I'm not going to continue until I fix that part. The second of all is, how is the audio? Because that's the most important thing. Matt, Ayub, Jason, Ruby. I'm not going to try to keep up on the live chat. It's been very difficult. So let's see here. Quality of the stream is good. Atlanta, great. Yes, I am. My wife is 17 years. For some reason she sticks with me. I don't know why. I don't want to buy any Bitcoin. Baby, Voyager on fire. Sounds good. Great. No glitches. Fantastic. If this live stream is a little bit muted, a little bit lower, don't worry. I can fix it. So again, we've done a couple of these live streams before, and the last one did pretty well. There was a big connection issue as far as like, there was no hiccups, but the problem is that there was a little bit of quality and latency. So we tried to fix that, had some guys out here to fix the office, and then also for the audio. If it's too low, let me know, we can fix that. But let's just jump into what the hell's going on today, right now. So first of all, let me pull something up. Perfect. All right, first of all, welcome to Digital Asset News. Take a top stories in cryptocurrency digital assets and break them down to bite-sized pieces. So today, just like the title had suggested, I'm going to talk to you about 11 homes you can potentially buy with Bitcoin and why it would be an amazing mistake to do so, even though these homes look like dreams. Also, we're going to take a look at what is going on with the CME and the futures demand for Ethereum and how that's all playing out. But the real question is, it's not just about Ethereum and what's going on. Are we missing the boat, and are we looking too much into Ethereum as we take a look at what is going on with Binance Coin, BNB, and Pancake Swap? Are they the new Ethereum? And then lastly, we'll take a look at a little bit of price prediction, which everybody likes to talk about. And it's always fun, but who knows? But I will just say this, my price predictions so far, not too bad. Unfortunately, I've had a couple that just went way off the rails, and these are all because of my conservative numbers. So we'll take a look at all that, but first, let's take a look at what we have in the live chat. So first of all, welcome everybody. We don't do too much of these, but it's something that we should do a little bit more of. So I wanted to get more into the live stream and see what we're doing. So what do we got here? And for each little section, let me just answer some questions as I go along. Crypto Nobes, finally, somebody here who is famous. Crypto Nobes, welcome. Rami, Crypto Gag. Razi, thanks for the $5. I think you should keep it and buy Voyager, but if you want to give me $5, that's great. I appreciate it. Let's see what else we got. Chris Santana, found you 2 weeks ago. Really like your channel. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Bitta. Hey, Bitta. Got questions about Cardano in East Africa. So before we go on to what's going on in the market, which has been a pretty fantastic day, let's be honest. Bitta and all the different people who are in sub-Saharan Africa or India or any place like that, you are the reason why I made danteachescrypto.com, because I wanted to make it 100% free so people could learn about cryptocurrency and digital assets. I don't have to worry about just paying for it. It just made no sense to me. So if you haven't signed up so much or so far, go to danteachescrypto.com, 100% free website. We have everything that I think you might need to learn about cryptocurrency. So everybody, welcome. Let's start the show. So first up, where are we? I want to talk to you real quick about, actually, no. First thing I want to do is talk about what the heck's going on in the market. So as we can see, trade the chain, great for sentiment analysis, but also good to see what is actually happening. So if you've been living under a rock, you realize that Bitcoin has breached the 55,000 mark. the question is how fast before we hit 60K? And if you've been around for a while, you know that weekends are not fantastic for crypto and digital assets. Usually what happens is we see a little bit of a dump. So I think 55,000 is a pretty good starter. And I'm not gonna, look a gift horse in the mouth, but I think there's going to be a little bit of retracements. I could be wrong, but that is where we're at. Ethereum looks like we're at 1960, cannot break that 2K barrier. I think it will. And I think it's gaining momentum, especially with what is going on as far as like DeFi, swapping things out, and especially with what happened with BNB or the Binance coin lately. Looks like they are really taking control as far as like swapping out tokens. And it's about time they have, because if you have used Uniswap or any type of like swapping type of asset for an ERC20 token, you know it is incredibly expensive and just really not conducive. So Binance coin is now in the third spot, and it is at, wow, $337, pretty amazing. Tether's tethered, nobody cares unless you're an auditor. Polkadot, look at that, up 12%, $34. And this is one of those predictions that I thought that it would hit $35 in 2020. Already did it, so look at me. I couldn't really make that one. Cardano, about to breach that dollar mark, I hope so. XRP, watch out, 6%. 56 cents, fantastic. I just want to say tip of the hat to all the XRP holders. You guys got diamond hands, and that's pretty commendable. And it's like my friend CJ over at Market Rebellion says, he goes, watch out for the assets that don't go away, that potentially could go away. And if they're that much resilient, look what could actually happen when favorable assets come about. So XRP. Litecoin, yeah, sure, 4%. Chainlink, 6%. Man, Chainlink is at $34. I thought Chainlink would go to $35 in 2020, 2021, and here we are already. Bitcoin Cash taking a little bit of a, it's only 2%, but Bitcoin Cash, what happens to Bitcoin SV? Here it is, number 21 position. So if you don't know, I think it was KuCoin, one of those big exchanges. They have delisted Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash. Mostly because of some statements made by Craig Wright. I don't understand why with Craig Wright, they take away Bitcoin SV and take away Bitcoin Cash, but whatever. So that is what's going on. Let me blow this up so you can actually see what I'm talking about. There we go. Here's the real beauty of Trade the Chain. If you see right here, this 1 hour projected range, I want to know what is going to go up in the next hour or so. So I'm just going to be honest with everybody. It's just us. There's nobody really watching, just me and you. Thorchain is something to look at. Per sentiment analysis, and you have to remember what Trade the Chain does. It crawls all the websites, all the blog posts, all the Twitters. One of 4 cryptocurrency companies that have a direct API into Twitter, and they disseminate all this information and give us a projected range, which is about 90% accuracy. And Thorchain looks like it could go up 6 to 7% in the next hour with a 90% accuracy. Now we got Matic. Whoa. That just switched on me. I'm not a big trader. I'm actually horrible at it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm just an investor, but I would definitely look at Matic. Binance coin, it's a no-brainer. KuCoin makes sense, 10% up. 2% is a 90%er. Huobi token, again, Harmony, Dogecoin, whatever. And then Voyager. You know what? This is a good segue, actually. So did you see those coins that were listed as going to go up in the next hour or so? We had KuCoin, Huobi, Voyager, Binance. What do they all have in common? And this is, of course, this is live, so I had no pre-recognition of what's going to happen. But what these all have in common is that they're all exchanges, and all these type of exchange tokens, they have some type of utility, whether that be something like a Binance, which uses their Binance chain, or you have something like KuCoin, which gives you certain cash backs or certain requirements or certain perks for using that for the exchange, or Voyager, which they're going to release their Voyager loyalty program. So if you're looking at what's going to go up and what's going to make it big, just take a look at the utility. This is what Pat Ackerman always talks about. All these different things that we have related to exchanges, so maybe that's a good thing to take a look at as far as what is going on. It's just interesting that all these coins that are exchanges that have real world utility are going up 6, 7, 10, 12%, as predicted by Trade the Chain. I could be wrong. If you want to take a look at it, there's a link in the description. You can check it out, and that is it. So let's go to our top story, huh? Actually, before we do that, I don't know if you know this, but because of Bitcoin's 1 trillion market cap, it is now the 6th largest asset in the world. So we've got Bitcoin sitting pretty at 1.02 trillion. I think it's probably gone up since I've been talking. Number 5 is Google or Alphabet. 4 is Amazon, Microsoft, Saudi Aramco, and Apple. So for all those people who have been in your life, your friends, family, and loved ones, and are like, why are you into cryptocurrency? Why are you into digital assets? It makes no sense. It doesn't make any, no one will really invest into that, and it's going to crash to zero. So not to rub it in their face, that's not the point that we're doing here, but it's all that hard work that you did to actually invest and get into these markets. This is the fruit of your labors, of all these different things that you had to go through. So just remember that if anybody asks you, go, hey, how's that Bitcoin doing? Well, 6th largest asset by market cap, and doing pretty good. Hope you bought some when I recommended it to you 2 or 3 years ago. And that is how it is. So that is what we got for this first part here. Now let's talk about the inevitable, which is, and I think, is that as the market goes up, and you who did all the hard work to invest, put a lot of your money into an unproven, highly volatile, very problematic asset. If you take a look at this and go, well, all this hard work, now I'm going to cash out. And you're all going to do that. That's fine. But just remember this, that we are only in February, so who knows where this whole market could go. But I just came across this this piece, and I thought to myself, this is pretty good to talk to people about, what they could potentially buy. So these are homes right now you can buy with Bitcoin, and this I just thought was interesting. So first of all, when Bitcoin's about 51,000, that was today, and now it's like 55,000. Pretty interesting. So let's just scroll down. Here's something you can buy right now with Bitcoin. So these places take Bitcoin that you can buy your house with. And before you think to yourself, this is fantastic, I can't wait to do this, just wait. So the first one here, it is 3.7 million. It's worth 70 Bitcoin. It's at Collins Avenue in Florida. No idea where that is. But anyhow, it's located in the Trump Royale beachfront condo. Panoramic views of the ocean, a private pneumatic glass elevator, glass staircase, and a private lobby. The terrace and rooftop come with fully equipped jacuzzi jets, amenities, fitness-inspired tennis courts, and a beach-side bar with 24-hour security. Doesn't that sound fantastic? All this hard labor, you can buy something like that if you are one of those Bitcoin millionaires. This is what it looks like inside. Pretty nice, right? Pretty good, right? And it's only going to cost you, set you back 70 Bitcoin. Not too bad. And there's some more 7-bedroom, 9-bathroom house, Upper East Side. This is in, where's this at? New York, New York. Right by Alex Mascioli over there in Brooklyn. There's 12 fireplaces in total, 2 outdoor fireplaces. The roof terrace provides 360-degree views of Manhattan skyline. And look at this place. Beautiful, right? Just beautiful. And there's just more like that down here. This one's pretty interesting. Only 28.5 Bitcoin on Florida. And beachfront's house on St. George. Look at this. Look at this. Nice. Well, not that nice. I can get this in Galveston for like 1/10 of that, but whatever. So all these places, you can purchase these with Bitcoin. And it sounds tempting, right? Because some of us, or some of you, not me, you could just start to buy these things like crazy because you have so much that you have accumulated over these years. And that's your right, to actually buy these things. So I'm just going to ask you the question. And this is what we had actually talked about with Alex Becker a couple of days ago. Alex Becker, we don't know, he's one of those internet guru guys. And he came on the show, and I just talked about some of the pitfalls of becoming a millionaire overnight. And what he talks about was, he said, if I did this again, he goes, I wouldn't have spent so much money on all these different frivolous activities. He goes, don't get me wrong, in the 20s it was awesome. I could do all these things and it was great. He goes, what was fantastic about it is as time went on, instead of putting money into like the Lambos, houses, and he even told a pretty funny story about renting a jet from Dan Bilzerian for like $40,000 for him and his friends to go to Las Vegas. He goes, all those things are great experiences. He goes, but in the long run, it's not really what I want to do with my life. He goes, if I could just pull back that money and then I can save it and then I can put it into bigger opportunities. He goes, that's why I had the money at my disposal to put into Bitcoin when it crashed around March, when that Black Swan event. And he said he put in, and he, like I said, he pulled a Diddy and put in a ton of cash reserves into Bitcoin. And now he is looking at a 10x. The thing is, if he buys these things, if he buys all these crazy things, you know, these Lambos, these beautiful places, then what happens in 3-4 years when he wants to, you know, reinvest? It's very hard to do so. So it's just a cautionary tale that these days are great. There's a euphoria around us. We're making so much money and everything's gonna go to the moon. It's never gonna go down. First of all, it's gonna go down at some point. What goes up must come down. So when you look at this, just think to yourself, this is great timing, but what am I gonna be doing in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, when the next 4-year cycle comes around? And is it worth it? So these are just some of the things that I just want you to remember. And now for me personally, I just want you to know one thing, and that is that you can't buy these beautiful places in Lambos without paying some fat ass taxes. That's really what it comes down to. This is from CryptoTrader.tax, and there are 4 times when you're going to actually have a taxable event. I know this is a wet blanket thing, but that's kind of what I'm a realist. That's what this channel is here for. It's to rein some things in, and we can dream a little bit. That's fine. We can see where things are going to go. But in all honesty, let's just take it a step back. So if you want to purchase a Tesla with Bitcoin, if you want to purchase a beachfront house or a new Lambo, just know this, that in America and a lot of different places, there's 4 times you're going to have to put in that long-term capital gains. Trading Bitcoin for fiat, right? I want to cash out. I have Bitcoin, give me money. Trading Bitcoin for other cryptocurrency, I have Ethereum, give me a stable coin. I have Ethereum, give me Hex, whatever. I want to spend Bitcoin on a good or service. I have Bitcoin, give me that condo, give me that Lambo. You're going to pay, depending on where you're at, about 20% long-term capital gains if it's long-term. Short-term, you could pay 37% up to 46%, depending on the state that you live in. And also earning Bitcoin as income, like mining or staking, or if you're getting paid at your office. So those are one of those things. And I will just tell you this, that I'm going to show you exactly the car that I'm going to buy with all these earnings. This is the car I'm going to get. Are you ready? It's a 2018 Dodge Mini Caravan with enormous trunk space and fantastic mileage and gas mileage to travel from El Paso to Texas, or to El Paso to Houston. The reason why I'm going to buy this, I'm going to pay this off. This is what I have. This is the car that I drive. And I'm not a very flashy person because I know what's going to happen in the next 4 years. There's going to be, if we take a look at the 4-year cycles, there is a halving, 2012. There is a all-time high, 2013. There is a dip, 2014. 2015 is a reset. 2016, there is a halving. 2017 is an all-time high. 2018, there is a monstrous dip. 2019, everything goes sideways. 2020, there's a halving. 2021, there's all-time highs. What I expect, what I think a lot of people do, there's going to be a dip, and it's going to be pretty big, and it's going to be a nice recession in 2022 and 2023. Everything's going to go sideways. So in that time, I'm going to reinvest these things. And this sweet ride is what I will have as far as a Lambo. So let me just think in the comments section. Let me go back to what we're talking about as far as a live chat and see where we're at. When Mullets, W. Mullet says, buy American. What? How dare you? Cardano, which will be paid off with one of my small investments. Buy America, buy America. Dan teaches soccer. I always tell my wife, I go, if you're going to leave me, just watch out, because I can definitely pick up anybody with a bunch of kids. Buy or buy. Fully Righteous asks, buy or buy? Yeah. And so for the thumbnail, it was buy these types of assets. If it's a Lambo, non-depreciating. If it's some type of condo or beachfront property, it could be an appreciating asset if you use it the right way. And but what the whole thing was is if you buy these things, depreciating assets, just say goodbye to a lot of your profits. That's really what it comes down to. And the van, Toyota Land Cruiser. That's right. So that is it. So let me pop back here. Go on to our next piece. And before I go on, just PSA, the IRS is going to crack down this year. This was a article I like to reference, January 3rd. They're going to go from, kind of like education to enforcement. And this is from the former chief of the IRS. Criminal investigation said that the IRS will now be turning to more stringent enforcement. IRS hasn't been so quietly positioning itself for a smooth transition from education to enforcement and beyond. So if you need a little help, this is what I recommend. This is what I use. This is cryptotrader.tax. There's a link in the description. You can win a free unlimited tax report, $300 value. Just put your first name and email and sign up. If you don't even want to wait for that, like me, Dan users get 20% off. And it's pretty great because the time that I put my tax information in to actually when I sent it to my CPA last year, 30 minutes. Saved me $16,000. I saw my unrealized and realized gains. Fantastic. I'm using it again. That's all I can say. All right. Next up. This was a good one from Crypto, and it talks about institutional interest in Ethereum has spiked so rapidly. And when I read this, this is all about the CME futures contracts. And it was interesting because when I first heard about this, I was concerned because remember the last time we had these futures contracts, which was for Bitcoin back in 2017? What happened as soon as those futures contracts hit, Bitcoin took a big nosedive. But with this one, didn't happen. So I'm glad to say I was wrong about this one. However, I will say this, on 8th of February is when, who's that guy? Elon Musk. Anybody know him? Yeah, Elon Musk from Tesla, he came out and said that they're buying a ton of Bitcoin. So it doesn't really matter what you're gonna do. That's gonna make things pretty bullish. But I'm still wrong because if we're looking at 16th of February, the interest for Ethereum futures from institutions is still sky high. So that's good news. That's good news for cryptocurrency. But just like we covered yesterday, we talked about how like Motley Fool, they are and they do a lot of hedge funds and a lot of different email marketing and different things for like investments. They were the ones that said, hey, we're going to get into Bitcoin now and we're going to put in 5 million. And I was like, first of all, I was like, well, 5 million, yawn. But the second thing was, I was like, you guys are the experts and you're supposed to tell us beforehand, and you're going to buy Bitcoin at 50,000? Sure. I really wish you would have said that at 5,000. Actually, it didn't matter to me or you. We already knew what time it was. But when I think about this and I see these institutions getting in, I think to myself, are they really that smart money to get in right now? Not that Ethereum is not going to go up. My price prediction is $10,000. But I start to think to myself, without a good layer 2 solution, have you tried to use Uniswap lately? Have you tried to use 1inch? Have you tried to use any of those swapping decentralized exchanges to transfer any type of cryptocurrency one to the other? It's super expensive. And that is why BNB, Binance Coin, for their Binance chain, they have welcome Pancake swap. And now you can get all these different tokens, which is pretty cool. I'll link this in the description as well. You can get a ton of stuff and it's like super cheap because you're using Binance Coin, which is why, that's my dog, which is why the Binance Coin is going up in price so much because of real world utility. Again, going back, what do these tokens do? Do they have real world utility? Does their white paper say that there's actually a service or a function? And you can see it right here. So like, first of all, I don't know any of these things. Well, Compound, Burger, sure. Dice, Ditto, Polkadot. You can get all these things on Pancake Swap. And you don't have to pay some ridiculous fees like you do with ERC20 tokens. So when I look at these types of articles and these institutions are coming in, I'm thinking to myself, do they really know what it is? Now, as far as like exchanges and things like that, I think unless a layer 2 solution comes about, like a loop ring, like Algo or something, whatever it is that's out there, that or Matic, then it's going to kind of fall by the wayside. However, if you take a look at what Ethereum can do as far as like a supercomputer and writing different things, and it's very easy to use, sure, I can see that. However, there's a lot of different cryptocurrency digital assets right on their heels, such as like a Cardano, which is really looking to eat their lunch, ERC20 converters, talking to nations, talking to developers, really getting things going, Goguen era, smart contracts. So do I think Ethereum has a long-term gain? Sure, I do. But in the long run, 3, 5, 10 years, it's anybody's guess. I think in this bull run, again, Ethereum get 10K, but I wonder to myself, do these large institutions really know what time it is and what score it is with Ethereum, as if they're trying to get into like this bull run, or maybe it's a long play, 3, 5, 10, 20 years, I have no idea. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comment section, and let me jump back to the chat and see what I missed. All right, first of all, 2 questions. Is the stream still good? And is the audio still all right? Thank you, Mullet, my man. Hit the like and subscribe. Mullet, Lone Stars, next time when you're down in Texas. All right. Celsius is partnering up with Swiss Bank. Interesting. What else we got? Decentralized ETH issues will be solved. Look at Bitcoin in 2017, $50 fees. That's right. Hard forks sounds familiar. Yeah, it's all familiar. But the real question is, can they solve that? Can they do that in time to really catch up to all these institutions that really want to come in? And not just that, but all the people that want to build on it. That's the real question. I mean, crypto and digital assets don't move slow, right? Like Binance coin just went up, what, 186% in 2-3 days. So I mean, take a look at that. What's going on with ETH 2.0? Well, they're saying 6 months to a year for ETH 2.0 to really get their legs and go. It just makes me concerned. Hello from Ireland. All right. Streaming audio still good? Yes, we made it. So all that money that I spent to get these guys out here to rig this place up worked out. Great. Oh yeah, parts. All right, let's go into our last section, which is we're going to talk about price predictions and how wrong I was, which is always fun. Everybody likes that. So price predictions. Let me pull this up. Here we are. There. So if you remember my price prediction, this was on January 7th when we just came into the new year. And I was pretty pumped because I was like, wow, things are going pretty well. We just crossed 29,000. The market cap was, I think we were well above 500 billion. Everybody's happy. Like, who knows what could happen? We might even hit $1 trillion. Today, we're almost going to hit 2 trillion. Crazy. So when I did these price predictions, it was pretty conservative. People said it was conservative, and I can't deny that. That is what it is. So I just want to do a little update for everybody because they keep asking me. First of all, Bitcoin, I still think going 150K. Some people will say 300, some people will say 440, some people will say 1 million. I say the 1 million people are crazy. Maybe, but I hope I'm wrong. But to be conservative, 150K, and then I have a probability section over here, and I would put that at 10. And if we're going on a continuum scale where 0, I have no faith it's going to happen, 10, I'm like 100% sure it's going to happen. I'm going to say 150K is a 10. I mean, I might miss it by 10, 15K either way, but I think it's going to be 150K, 150,000 for this year. Great. Now for Ethereum, it's the same thing. If Binance Coin hadn't come along and said, hey, we have a really good out here and we want you to use Pancake swap, but it really does show one of the blind spots of Ethereum and what could potentially happen. Ethereum has a lot of developers. They have a lot of people behind it. They have a lot of money behind it. So can they catch up? Sure, they can. But it just goes to show you that, in business, even blockchain and cryptocurrency, there's always somebody around the bend who's, looking to take out the champ. And that's exactly what happened. So speaking of which, Chainlink, totally wrong on this one. So Chainlink, Let me back up here. Chainlink on January 7th, I predicted at $17. Or no, sorry, it was $17. I predicted it would go to $35. I'm like, oh, it'll double, you know? And the probability I had was, I think it was like an 8 or something like that. But for this one, or 9, because I didn't understand, I thought that maybe like a band, another Oracle would come in and really take its spot, but that's not happening. And it's really skyrocketed. So Chainlink as of today was $35, so it already hit my prediction, which is good news. So if I'm wrong, I'm happy I'm wrong. And people can say, well, you know, if that's a conservative view, what's the maximum? I'm going to give you another conservative view. I'm going to say it's going to be between now and $55. And their max supply is 1 billion. That's the thing. They still have 1 billion, which is a pretty good amount. So 55, I think, is within the realm of possibility, and I'll give it a probability of 9. Cardano. I said it was $3. It would go to $3. I'm now thinking it'd go to $5. And the reason why is we did a couple of different pieces on it. First of all, we talked about then moving into sub-Saharan Africa and signing different contracts with different African nations for ID and potentially DeFi. There was a dispute as far as like the Ethiopian one, which I saw, but still it goes a long way to say of what is going on. Now the ERC20 token with Gogan coming in as far as smart contracts, and now they're actually able to have developers put on dApps. I could see it happening, and we're already at $1. So I don't see how this couldn't work. I think Ethereum could be good for retail, small businesses, these type of places. I think Cardano is kind of going for that Fortune 500 company, government contracts, big players. So I think there's room for both. This is why I see that's where they're at, and I give it a probability of 8. Theta, I said it's going to go to $10. The reason why I like Theta is because what are you doing right now? You're watching me, and that takes a lot of bandwidth. So with Theta, there's going to be a lot of bandwidth being used post-COVID-19, which means we're going to need somebody like Theta to work with a YouTube, to work with a Google, to get that bandwidth, to work with esports, and not against them. And that's why they're a big winner. So $10 to $17, not outside the realm of possibility. Celsius is a weird one. And I'm going to ask for everybody's opinion. Here's a weird thing. Today, it's 565. When Celsius, when I gave my price prediction, it is the only one that went down. On January 7th, it was $6. Today, it's 565. So what the heck's going on with Celsius for it to go down? I like Alex Mashinsky. I like the platform. I got 15% of my whole portfolio on it. So the question is, what happened? Why hasn't it gone up like everything else? Or just a stumbling block? Principles are still sound. There's still a flywheel effect. Put it in there. The more Celsius you have, the better off you are. I think one of the problems is that to be able to have just, how do I say this without sounding like a pompous jerk? Americans, like myself, we do like things when they come to us. I think every country's like that. So if they could bring Celsius into the fold to where like I could actually make yield on Celsius instead of like on EOS, then that would probably help out. But there's probably a lot of different things in the works that I'm not privy to. So I can just say that I will still say it could go to $20, probability 8. But it's a weird thing that it's the only one that hasn't gone up. Also, Stellar, I still say it's going to go to $2. Polkadot was one of the big ones. And when I did this on January 7th, Polkadot was $10. $10. And now it is $34. And back then I said it was going to go to $50. And I still think it's going to go to $50 to $70. Could go more, could go less. But again, what's good about seeing these price action and price discovery is that it's not outside the realm of possibility, and these conservative numbers aren't like outlandish. I think they could make it maybe even more. So this is going to be a pretty good year for us. Tezos, sure, it went up $20. I can still see that. VeChain, I still think it's going to be a quarter, whatever. Here's something crazy. EOS. I don't know who holds EOS besides me. I'm like the only one on an island, apparently. But it's $5.16 on February 19th. It was $3.40 Has anybody heard anything about what's going on with EOS? New partnerships, new platforms, new things going on? I haven't heard squat. So when I say let's go up, I'm like, weird. It went up. Celsius doing all these great things, didn't go up. Kind of crazy. But I can still say 30 bucks, sure. Here's another one of my failures. 20 bucks for Uniswap. This is pretty funny, actually, you look at it. So when I did this on January 7th, Uniswap was at $6.60. And I thought it would go to 20 bucks. Conservative, right? Well, it's 20 bucks today. And when I was doing this price prediction, I thought to myself, well, I think, oh yeah, Alex, if you're here, I'm doing a live stream. I think it could still go to $30. But one of the things that I see as a weakness with Uniswap is, again, just what Binance Coin has pointed out, that, hey, these ERC20 tokens, they're expensive. So why don't you just use Binance and we can get you the things that you want. Do you want a Cardano? Do you want a whatever? We can do that. Just use our chain and use our service, use our BNB token, and also just hold it like crazy so it can go up to over 300 bucks. So I don't know what's going to happen. I like Uniswap. I like how they did things as far as like building the community, doing the airdrop. It's fantastic. I probably won't ever sell it. I can't say that. That's a dumb comment. I will probably sell it at some point if it gets, everybody's got a price point. But for right now, I'll hold 20, 30 bucks, sure. Voyager. This is what everybody wants to know. So Voyager today is $5.32. This one, I made this 3 hours ago before I went to meet a friend. And actually, it went up to $6. When I made this price prediction in January, it was 29 cents. And I thought it would go to 30 bucks. And everybody thought it was crazy. Even CJ from Market Rebellion, my guy, he's like, that's crazy. Did sound crazy, honestly. But now what's going on, and just like we talked about, utility, exchange tokens, what are they doing? What are they actually, what is their function? You can see with Voyager, well, they just had a loyalty program came out. The more you hold, the more interest that you can gain, 7%. It also helps you with fees, also help with a debit card, potentially a credit card when that comes out. It's also, they're going to do a swap between stocks and cryptos. That's always nice. And maybe even swaps, just like what Pancake swap is doing. So when I take a look at this, I'm like, what the heck is going on? This is $5. Oh, and one more thing, Voyager, it's only in America, and not even New York. It's only in America, hasn't gone to Europe, hasn't gone to Canada, hasn't gone anywhere else, and that's going to come in Q2. So when I say $30, that's a 10. When I say $75, 8, 9. We'll see. And the rest, I'll just say, Aave, Donnie, if you're watching, I need to get you on the show, which I say all the time. I still think it's going to go to 2,000. Bitcoin Cash, I still think it can go to 8,000. And the reason why is because they are one of the 4 horsemen over there at PayPal. You've got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So you can't count those guys out, especially Litecoin. I don't even know what see going on. If you've been through a lawsuit like I have, my lawsuit went 3 years. So, you know, business-wise, trademarks and things like that, awful, awful. This wasn't the SEC, but it was still a big pain in the A, and it took a long time. So I don't know what's going to happen, and I tip of the hat to all the XRP holders. All right, so that is it for today. Let me just real quick. First of all, thanks for sticking with me through. Hopefully the audio is okay and the lag time. Let's see what I got. Did I miss anything? Okay, I missed a ton, of course. Jonathan asked, where do you buy Voyager? Jonathan, go to danteachescrypto.com. It's a 100% free website, has everything you could possibly want to know. Well, not everything, but a good amount. And go to module 5, how do I? Last video, how do I buy Voyager? There's 4 ways to do it. Trading Nichols, hey man, what's up? PayPal options for crypto, that's damn right. It's gonna be awesome. Robert East checks I'm with the smallest sliver of Bitcoin, dude, now that's too expensive. So I was listening to Alex Mascioli's show today, and the big question was, would you get exposure if you had no exposure to Bitcoin? And there was a divide. Alex, Monty, and CJ said yes, and then Ryan said no. And I could see both their points. Ryan is a retail guy. He's like, you know what? I don't want to buy it at 50,000 and it goes down 10, 20%. And I'm sitting there looking at the markets going, what the heck just happened? I just lost 20%. My wife's going to choke me. So that's no good. And then, but Alex had a good point. He's like, look, just buy it and just don't even remember it. Just forget about it. Which leads me to my next point. To me personally, if I had no exposure, I'd buy it right now because I am an investor. I'm not a swing trader. I think everybody knows that. I'm too lazy to do those things. That's just how it is. Talking to my friend George. George lost his username and password to Coinbase. Surprise. And also, to get any kind of customer service, it sucked. Surprise. So it took him a long while to get back into his account, and it's just been sitting there for 2 years. Just couldn't get into it. He didn't really care about it. Then when he got into it, he's like, hey man, $17,000. I got $17,000. He had $17,000, and he had put in like $2,000 or $3,000. So that's a pretty good day, right? You just come in there like, oh, I got 17 grand from 3,000. It's pretty good. That's the whole power of investing as opposed to trading. Nothing against traders. I respect you guys. I just can't do it. But it's one of those things where, like, if you just, it's like Ronco food dehydrator. If you just set it and forget it, buy things and just go on, it usually works out pretty well. Usually. So if it was me, I'm a long-term investor. That's my game. I would definitely, if I had no exposure, I would definitely buy Bitcoin. That'd be it. If I'm a day trader, I wouldn't buy Bitcoin. I would buy the things that we just talked about over at Trade the Chain, you know, Matic and all the things that were going up 8, 10, 12%. That's what I would do. All right. Thanks, man. Do you have contact info for Blake and Anthony? Yeah. So in the description of every one of my videos, there's a link that goes to iTrust for the IRA, which I have, which I just got the paperwork to put in another, because you can only put in 7,000 in your IRA. I just got that in so I can get everything in there, because I want to buy Polkadot and I want to get Ethereum so I can stake it in my IRA and get a ton of money and not get taxed on it. Anyhow, if you look in the description, the website's there, and then on the top right hand corner it says messages, and you can set up a 30-minute call with them. They take it. That's what I did, because I didn't know what the heck was going on, and I had to explain it to me. I didn't know what was going on. All right. Oh, Alex Mascioli finally around. Just kidding, Alex. Says tomato coin is my coin. Well, yeah, because, you know, if you get tomato coin, you're putting tomorrow's marinara sauce on today's blockchain. So everybody should have a piece of that in case it goes off. So yes, I agree. Let's see. One Mullet's here as usual. Thanks, man. What percent of your portfolio is in Voyager? A ton. And you know what? You know what I'm mad at? It's not more. That's the big thing. If I get more in there, I would have done it. And my only regret is doing that price prediction video when it was 29 cents and everybody learning about it and buying it up, and I had to buy it at $1. I was ticked off. But this is what it is. Now, look, I'm no genius and I'm no Nostradamus. I've been wrong plenty. Ask my wife, she'll tell you. So we just talked about it, like Uniswap was wrong, Chainlink was wrong, but I'm not going to give you guys any kind of crazy, nonsensical predictions and tokens that I just don't believe in. Everything I talk about is the things that I own. And I'm super biased, and that's why I don't talk about things that I don't own that much, right? I don't talk about Binance Coin that much because guess what? I don't own Binance Coin. I don't talk about Litecoin because I don't own Litecoin. But I do talk about Cardano. I do talk about Bitcoin and Chainlink and all those things. So just so you know, that's the truth. That's just how it is. All right, my teeth are floating. If you're old, you know what that means. Been a great night so much. I appreciate it. We should do more of these, and that is all. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. That really helped me out. I appreciate that. Consider subscribing. A lot of things we talk about are time sensitive, and that is all. If I missed anything, sorry. Just hit me up over on Twitter at newsasset, or go to danteachescrypto.com. Looks something like this right there.